Thank you for tuning into another episode of WGC Fits. Today I am joined with Mr. Ballspeed.
Mr. Ballspeed.
How we doing?
Doing great. How
Pretty
are you?
good?
Yeah.
It's a good day. A little cold outside.
It's snowing.
We don't like snow.
No.
But we have cool putters, so it's okay. So we are going to be talking about the lab putters, right? Lab golf, something that we are featuring now at Windmill Golf Center, something that we are both quite excited about. We have all the models available, and in this first one I think we're just going to hit a couple and get some feedback, kind of tell about the general overview of the shapes and everything and what to expect for when you guys come in and want to get fit for these things.
Yes.
So
I haven't hit them, so I don't know.
I have hit them.
Because you have one.
I like them.
Yes.
They are nice. So let's do this. What do you want to start with
Let's
here?
start with this link.
Link?
Talk about the link.
So the Link is a blade putter.
Yes.
All of their putters are what is known as torque balanced.
So they all balance here.
They all balance there. Now, Ian, let's talk a little bit about what putters do. In a putting stroke, we have this and we have this. Agree? Now, what happens in this? The face wants to open.
A little bit.
Correct? Now, and just like in...
Especially with the toe hang putter.
Exactly. And the same thing in the follow-through, the face wants to close.
Yeah.
Right? So when you're swinging a putter, it's actually doing anything it can based on where the center of gravity is, based on how the club and the shaft are connected, based on all of the balancing to not be square.
Yeah.
Right? And it's our job to then bring it back to square.
Yeah.
Agree?
Which
Now,
can be hard sometimes.
well, it can be very difficult. Now, you have already been using something kind of like this where you don't have to fight that squareness as much.
Correct.
Right? These are very similar. Now, let's talk about your experience using something similar to this past season.
Best I've ever putted so far.
Right?
Yeah.
And did you find that the stroke made a little bit more sense? Didn't feel like you were fighting as much?
A lot more sense.
Mm-hmm. Now, that is 100% what these are good for. They don't rotate.
Yeah.
They just stay square, you know? And that's what we're looking for. So,
I mean, Lucas Glover won twice with this thing
twice. That's right.
in a row.
And a lot of other good players have been using them as well.
Camilleo's coming back.
Camilleo's coming back. I never thought I'd say that, but, you know, he's coming back and putting pretty well, again, with Lab Golf. So we have the Link model here.
Which is their blade offering.
This is a blade offering, right? Now, a couple things to note. These are all...
Demo heads.
They're all going to look like a center shafted putter.
Yeah.
But again, how they're doing it is a little bit different. So center shafted blade. Now, talk about feel and look at address, Mr. Ian.
Well, the look is fine because I'm used to a no off-centered putter anyway. Because that's what I was fit for.
Mm-hmm.
The weights are kind of funky, but overall I like it.
Not bad, right?
Yeah.
Now, you haven't hit anything with these. We know that putters like this, they can feel a little bit different than traditionally weighted putters. So I'm excited to see, after you hit a couple, what it feels like for you.
It feels just a little heavier than mine.
These do kind of sit somewhere in that 335, 340 kind of swing weight. 330 to 340, let's say, swing
What's
weight.
the swing
generally.
weight?
Or head weight, I should say. Sorry.
What's the swing weight?
Swing weight on these are going to vary.
Well, that was a good one.
That was a good putt.
Feels solid.
I do like actually the way they feel.
I'm used to, they really stay square.
Very much so. Nothing on the planet stays as square throughout a putting stroke as these do. That is partially why I like these so much and why I was so intrigued by these.
Like that, I know mine is set up similar to this, but there's like no fight in it. Oop.
Not at all.
man.
Just making putts. Now, off the face, what do you think? Feels pretty good, right?
It feels great. It doesn't feel like a clank.
No, it doesn't. I think they actually have a really nice, almost soft kind of feel to them at address.
yes.
You know? They're made with super premium materials, just like everything else. We're talking a mix and a blend of, you know, your 303 stainless, and then I want to say that there's some aluminum as well. Now that
I'm
one,
assuming the whole head's the 303
I
stainless.
would say on this one specifically, you're looking at mostly 303 stainless on this guy.
And the bigger they are, the more aluminum.
Well, again, because they're talking about perimeter weighting and stuff, right? Now, as someone who currently is not much of a blade guy, but someone who in the past has used a blade a little bit,
Yeah.
is this the most stable blade you've ever felt?
Oh, yeah.
Right? That was the first thing that I thought when I saw this guy and when I hit a putt with this guy was, for that guy who is potentially looking for a blade putter, this is
Well, it was by far the best blade.
as stable as it gets.
Yes.
Right? I mean, it just doesn't really feel like it wants to open or close at all.
No.
That, and I think it looks good, right? And
I think it looks
important
great.
It looks good, you know? I think they play the part and they look the part of that high-end putter experience.
And I love ribs.
Who doesn't like ribs?
Or what are these called?
Not ribs.
Sorry, what are these called?
Grooves.
I love grooves on a putter.
Grooves are good because grooves are imparting what we understand as feel and sound,
Yes.
right? So,
All right, so which one is yours?
So I have a Mez Max. Now, before we talk about mine, let's talk about the actual windows that they offer. So you can get a arm lock,
Yep,
you can get a broomstick,
broomstick,
we can get the standard quote-unquote putter,
just like the Link.
and the standard ones are going to come with two options, which we'll talk about, but it has to do with the grip and shaft lean, because again, these are incredibly customizable.
Yes.
And then lastly, they offer a counterbalanced option. And the counterbalanced option is what the one that I have here is.
Yes.
So
And you
with
love
this
it.
guy, I am a fan so far. With this guy, we've got the Mez Max head, and it's got some heavier weights than normal. The weight setup on this guy is a little bit different. Grab that one, and then let's compare the weights on the back, right?
Yeah.
So we see
Lot of
two
weight.
rows, 8 weight ports, very much heavy and weighted, right? Here we've got 8 on the bottom, and then does this one have the toe? No, this one doesn't. So 8 on the bottom. So literally double the weight ports in this guy versus that guy. Again, for that counterbalance feel, heavier head, a little bit more weight up here, longer setup. So again, just
that's
different
aluminum.
for that type of person.
And that's aluminum.
This one's
right?
going to have stainless steel and aluminum.
What's the face made of?
So the face is going to be your 303.
Bang.
And then the aluminum is going to be kind of in there to help get that heavier stuff on the outside to give you that center of gravity and forgiveness window that we're looking for.
Yeah.
And
you
they're
picked a
just good
premium
butts.
shaft. Or they picked that shaft for you, right?
This one was a bit different. So because there is the heavy head weight going on,
Yeah.
right, they have to actually put the Acra graphite shaft in there because the normal shafts, they just wouldn't be stable enough to actually maintain the window of impact that they want. There's going to be too much flexion and deflection, which we all know, something I've talked about for a long time. So counterbalance option, I love it. It's really good. Feels great.
I have to try.
Now, go ahead and try.
I have to try.
Because after this, we're going to talk about the standard quote-unquote Mez Max.
Because this doesn't feel that heavy.
Nope. And again, that's that counterbalance window.
Oh, that just broke more. Huh.
I blame the putting mirror.
No, you don't.
I'm not a putting mirror guy.
I love the putting mirror. Bam. Look, that end over.
Great roll.
I think I moved the mirror.
Might have moved the mirror.
But anyways, I like both of them so far.
They're good. And again, the feel. For a putter that's got a lot of aluminum, sometimes those putters that have a lot of aluminum don't feel all that great. I think this one sacrifices nothing from a feel component and perspective.
I would like to say it looks like a spaceship.
But
Pew pew.
this looks way better
And some other spaceships.
than some other spaceships.
Yeah.
You know? Now, let's compare to the normal, because this is where we're going to start talking about shaft lean. Okay?
Yes,
So
the
the
grip.
counterbalance one has standard quote-unquote shaft lean. Okay? So meaning shaft inserted into the head is going to be at a normal or neutral
You mean the grip?
kind of window forward. And the grip on this one is a standard Super Stroke 17-inch putter grip. Okay? Now on
see.
the standard putter for lab, they actually have built in a certain amount of shaft lean.
Yes.
It ranges anywhere from 1.5 degrees to 3.5 degrees, depending on grip and everything like that. So the reason why is they have it set up so you don't actually have to forward press. So part of the fitting process is trying to understand how much you actually would forward press a putter and then not needing that in our actual setup.
And then the grip is off center.
The grip is off center because that's helping with that shaft lean idea,
Yes.
right? It's taking away that need for the forward press. They call these grips the press grips. And again, if you're trying to make it as simple as you can, you throw one of these on there with a little bit of that shaft lean built in, and you just pull the trigger and swing the butt.
Okay.
Right? Let's hit some of you. Now, there are also a variety of colors available
Oh yeah.
that I'm probably not going to remember off the top of my head, but I'm going to try. So there's a cappuccino, There's black.
blue.
There's platinum. There's blue. There's pink. There's an orange. Is there a red?
Did you say black?
I said black.
You said aluminum?
I said
Or gray?
platinum.
Black.
I think there's a red too, isn't there?
I
I can't remember. There might be a red too, but lots of colors.
Lots of colors.
And the
no
finish,
extra charge.
no extra charge. And the finish is something that's like that nice, soft, kind of like matte finish.
I love matte finish.
It's a good look. And then they also have the ability to customize sight lines. That's also something that,
They have like 9 different options.
yep, part of the fitting process is we can kind of get in there and really understand how your eyes work to make this thing where you want it, you know?
Well, I like that one.
Well, that one went in the hole.
The weird shaft lane thing is just getting me a little bit.
Well, it's different, right? And honestly, one of the things that I've told people thus far about these is you kind of have to think about it a little bit differently,
Yeah.
right? You have to think about putting in general a little bit differently.
Oh, I think it's just look for me.
But that's why there's lots of options out there.
Yes. There we go.
Still very good roll on all these,
Yeah.
you know? That's the one thing I've noticed is it seems to be very easy to get that really good end over end roll.
And then talk about MOI on all these things. Because apparently they're unreal.
It's as high as you can get it.
Should we try to miss a putt?
Go ahead. Tee one up on the toe.
Still rolls end over end.
Now, what do it with, this would be the one that's interesting about that one. So let's switch to the broomstick.
Okay.
Switch to the broomstick.
Get more balls.
We're going to put Ian in his
Very uncomfortable zone.
most uncomfortable position. Broomstick putting.
Yeah. What's funny, when I went to Appel school, they actually recommend you practice with these to move your shoulders.
Yeah. Makes sense, because you have to.
Oh, dear.
Now, just hit a couple of putts with this. This is the Directed Force 2.1 model.
That's
quite
a
large.
big face.
It's quite large.
Can't miss the face.
There's a lot of putter down
How do
there.
you hold this thing?
How? So you want to set this up. So I would kind of pencil it or claw it on the right. And then you want to set that up, and it's going to be just outside of, just off your chest.
Oh,
And then you do that.
we're switching.
We're turning Ian into a broomstick guy. All right, so let's do this. Hit a couple normal, get used to it. And then
I can't, but it's still rolled end over end.
Good. Now,
Like, I hit that on the toe.
I want you to purposely just toe the crap out of this.
I did. I just did.
I wasn't looking.
Oh. How do you set? Okay.
That was so
Like,
bad.
I towed that an inch out,
That was so bad.
and it's
It's still dead center, end over end.
I can feel it twisting.
But then that's the thing, right? You feel it a little bit, but there's so much MOI going on these things. There's so much weight down there
I
that
healed that one.
you're not ever going to be as off as you would be with a quote unquote normal putter.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, when it talks about forgiveness, it's as forgiving as it gets.
Now, it feels good, like normal. So,
Yeah, we just got to get you a broomstick putter and have you just
grip it normal.
left hand low it,
Yeah. I'm not okay, I know that's not how you do it. But that's what felt good. But that didn't go so hard.
All right, and then we have
I can feel that this thing is just stable as
just
all
super
can
stable,
be.
right? I mean, and the shapes, they're all unique and everything, but they're all designed very purposely to give you essentially the most, just like it says, directed force towards target as possible.
Yeah, and I actually don't mind the look of this putter.
I don't mind the look at any of them.
Because I
That's
think
the
it's
thing.
because I really like the big line.
The thing is, I don't mind the look of any of them. They're just different, you know? Okay, now we have the other shape here we're going to test. Now, this is a lefty. Neither of us are lefty,
No.
if anyone was aware. This is the Mez. So slightly smaller version
Than the Mez
if you
Max.
compare it to the Mez Max, right? We'll get close-ups
Yeah,
after.
I'll get close-ups. don't
Yeah, we'll
worry.
get close-ups. But a little bit different looking, right?
It's actually not that much smaller.
Well, you got to look at it from how tall they are too, like the actual depth and width and height of the club. The whole thing just a much bigger chunk of metal. Just think Mez Max, slightly smaller, right? So on the bottom we have singular weight ports on each side. We have toe weights right? So one there, one
have
there to
toe
try to give
weights.
you a little bit of that. You don't necessarily need it with that because
Because there's so
essentially you
many
have
weights.
a whole row of toe
Yeah.
weights. But just think smaller profile,
Yeah.
Mez Max. The thing that's crazy about these is with all the different shapes, there are different levels of, let's say, forgiveness and MOI and all that kind of stuff, right? But it's not all that much.
No.
You know, that's the thing that's interesting about them. These really are all built from the ground up to make very forgiving, you know, golf putters.
Yeah.
So,
That don't twist in your hand.
nope. If you're struggling with putting and you need help controlling that face,
Bang.
I don't know if there's a better window out there
Then
than
lab
this
golf.
guy. What say you, Mr. Ian? Thumbs up? Ian approved?
Torque balanced putters are great.
AJ approved? Windmill Golf Center approved?
Yes.
We like them. If you guys are interested and have any questions about any of the lab golf stuff, please come see us and we will get you set up, fit up, and get them on order for you. Have a good one. We'll see you.